Bitcoin, heaven's economy. In this video, we're going to talk about Bitcoin's price action recently, Facebook and their Senate hearing the past 2 days, and Fadelity Investments, which is beginning to offer Bitcoin to their customers. So first off, though, I really want to reiterate if you really want to be a part of heaven's economy, there is nothing that can replace a personal relationship with Jesus. Being rooted and grounded in a church where you are being spiritually fed the uncompromising Word of God. Third thing, you need to tithe. And here's right here where it says, Malachi 3:10 through 12. Bring ye all the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in mine house. And prove me now herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open you the windows of heaven and pour you out a blessing, that there shall not be room enough to receive it. And I will rebuke the devourer, that's the devil, for your sakes. And he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast her fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. So that being said, don't invest more than you can afford to completely lose in Bitcoin. And don't get involved until you've done a tremendous amount of research. But let's go ahead and dive right in and take a look at the recent price action. You can see Bitcoin has broken below this upward trending support line, which is bearish. I think we're in a downtrend right now. And, let's just go back and talk about Bitcoin for a second here. I think there's a great opportunity for you to benefit from Bitcoin. And I just love to give you some of that information. So to give you an idea, if you invested $10,000 in Bitcoin 2 years ago, today it's worth $100,000. If you invested $10,000 in Bitcoin 7 years ago, today it's worth $35 million. Now that sounds like heaven's economy to me. Where has Bitcoin been my whole life, right? Now, to cut through the confusion surrounding Bitcoin, you just separate it into two components. On one hand, you have Bitcoin, the token, which is a snippet of code that represents the ownership of the digital currency. And on the other hand, you have Bitcoin, the technology called blockchain, which a lot of people ask, well, what is Bitcoin? What's cryptocurrency? It's just digital money. So it's money that can be sent around the internet. As long as you've had a credit card or an online bank account, you have had digital money. Now, Bitcoin was fundamentally a computer science breakthrough because it solved a problem that had never been solved before, called the double spend, which is, if I'm going to send you a digital dollar, how do I prove to you that I didn't send a copy of the same thing to somebody else? Because in the digital world, it's really easy to make copies, things like photos, any kind of digital content. So here's what's really, really important. The only way people had figured this out up to date, right? They've solved that problem to date was by trusted intermediaries called banks. They sit between us. We trust the banks to automatically debit our account and credit the other person's account every time you swipe your debit card, you mail a check. And Bitcoin came up with this brilliant solution which allows me to send you a digital dollar and prove to you that I didn't send a copy of the same thing to somebody else. At the same time, we don't have any intermediaries, no banks, no middlemen taking a fee or slowing things down. So Bitcoin has created this global version of cash, or gold, if you want to call it that allows anybody to transfer value to anybody else in the world seamlessly over this global network. Now, here's where I like to point out a couple of things. There are only 21 million Bitcoins. There's a fixed supply, can never increase. There is no central authority, no government or bank owns it, so they can't manipulate it by printing more or raising or lowering the interest rates. So I was watching an interview on Bloomberg where Bill Gates was talking about Bitcoin being, the fact that it can't be stopped and it's better than money. Why? Let's say I'm in my hotel room in Tokyo and I want to send you $10,000, right? If I use the traditional banking system, I've got to go down to the bank, get in a cab, fill out a bunch of paperwork, and even though I want to send this money to you now, I can't. It's going to take several days, cost me $30. With Bitcoin, I've already sent it while you're on the phone with me right now. I didn't even have to leave my hotel room. So that's the power of Bitcoin. We say we have this global economy, yet if I give you $1 in the Netherlands, right, you don't know what to do with it. You've got to exchange it into your native currency. And with Bitcoin, you eliminate that step. I can send you one form of payment, and you can send me a product in a matter of seconds, and that changes things from a global perspective. Okay, and here's another thing that I think most investors are not considering is that you don't have to invest in a whole Bitcoin to purchase Bitcoin. Bitcoin at, currently the price is at about $10,599. Okay. You don't have to buy a whole Bitcoin. You can purchase just a percentage of a Bitcoin. And let me give you an example. Okay. If Bitcoin went from 10,000 today to 150,000, the smallest unit you could purchase would be 1.5 cents. If Bitcoin went from 10,000 today to 10 million, the smallest unit you could purchase would be 10 cents. So everyone, anywhere in the world can purchase Bitcoin, no matter what their net worth is or what they make. And that's extremely important because I don't know of any other investment in the world where the price going up does not prohibit someone somewhere from owning it. Okay, demand is only limited by an access to making a purchase. Okay, and right now it's estimated around 50 million people own Bitcoin, and Bloomberg has just forecasted that number is projected to go to 1 billion people in the next 5 years. So no wonder you have Facebook jumping out and saying, hey, we are coming out with our own cryptocurrency, right? And since Facebook owns Instagram, they own WhatsApp, right? They have a combined 2.7 billion users. And now all these people are going to be using or have access to a digital wallet where they can store cryptocurrency like Bitcoin or Libra coin. That's the Facebook coin, which is significantly different than Bitcoin. Really, this I think is just going to increase, right? And I really believe that the Facebook project is going to serve as a gateway drug to Bitcoin. I hate to put it that way, but this will increase the users of Bitcoin. More and more people will flood into the Bitcoin because this very, very recognizable company is getting in on the crypto. You've got another huge company called Fadelity, and they're known for being the most conservative 401k retirement provider in the world. And Bloomberg is reporting here, this article is from, I think, May, but Fidelity, which will begin a custody service to store Bitcoin. They've already started it this year. I believe they've already launched it to their institutional clients. And pretty soon, it looks like retail clients are going to be able to purchase Bitcoin. So this technology is just like the internet. Okay, in 2001, this internet bubble, there was a bubble where everyone's expectation was way ahead of the value, and then it crashed down. But a lot of good companies were started down in the trough. Companies like Facebook and Amazon and Google that turned out to be extremely large companies. People's expectations of Bitcoin, for the price, they're all over the map. But the real world truth is that adoption and usage is steadily increasing year after year after year. Bitcoin just came out in 2009. Here we are, 2019, and the price has gone from less than a penny to $10,500. Sounds like heaven's economy to me. Now, thank you guys so much for watching the video. I'll end with this quote from Dave Ramsey. Wealth comes from hard work. Wealth comes from hard work, but not because of hard work. Wealth comes from God. Right? Everything is His. Everything is His. He owns the cattle on 1,000 hills. And actually, I just want to share a little snippet from a book that I'm reading called Breakthrough by Sean Bowles. And it's a really cool book. It talks about every issue you could possibly have, one of them being finances and career. But I'll just read you this declaration. It says, I declare God has given me His kingdom keys to finance and resource. I declare that I'm not limited to a natural economy, but I'm participating with heaven's economy, where there are more than enough opportunities, finances, resources, relationships, and ideas and creativity. Thank you all for watching, and have a blessed day.